coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. I appreciate the support. We out here, 33 years of prison stories, man. 33 years. Man, I didn't even really have no story for y'all today, man. I just was thinking in my mind when I sat down here in front of this camera. I said, I'm just going to freestyle. And what I wanted to really say was by the conversation that I just had with a young fella recently that I ran into. And I said, well, I'm going to just talk about that, you know, the conversation. And the conversation is really, man, don't go to prison if, and there's a lot of ifs, man. A lot of ifs, man. Don't go to prison if you can't fight. That's number one. That's number one. If you cannot fight, or if you are afraid of confrontation, if you are afraid of physical confrontation, don't go to prison. Don't go to prison, because that is a given. That is a given, man. Just as sure as grits is groceries, just as sure as peanut butter go with jelly, as sure as grass is green, fish swim in water, you're going to have some type of physical confrontation. That's just a fact. And that type of physical confrontation could be deadly, it could be vicious, it could be super violent. If you're not prepared for all of that, man, you better shape up while you out here on the street. You better shape up while you out here on the street. If you're doing wrong, you better get it right, because I'm going to tell you right now, that is prison life. You know, that is prison life, man. Even the meekest, calmest, most docile dudes you can imagine that end up finding their way somewhere in prison have problems. Have problems. Either it's going to be your cellie, going to be trying to take advantage of you, extort you, abuse you, verbally handle you, physically handle you, rob you, take your stuff. Depending on who you got, he might want your manhood. So if you can't get physical to keep that up off of you, prison is not for you, man. It is not for you. It's no such thing as, man, just leave me alone. I just don't want no trouble. I'm just let me mind my business. And you ain't got no business in prison. You ain't got no business in prison, man. Your business is everybody's business. And yeah, don't go to prison if you is not ready for physical combat. Period. You know, don't go to prison if you ain't willing to create violence. You know, if you ain't willing to and it's sad, but it's true, but if you're not willing to take a life to save your life, don't go to prison. Don't go to prison. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I do this, or I do that. Man, it's different. This ain't TV. This ain't no movie that you watching. This ain't no reality show. This ain't no TV series. This ain't no nothing that you look at and get entertainment from and say, oh, man, he should have did that, or I would have did. No, you're going to actually have to do it. Yeah, you're going to actually have to do it. And the thing about that is, whenever you get into physical combat or physical altercation, it ain't no guarantees. It can go either way. It can go either way. It's just like when you watch a boxing match or you watch any type of physical combat. You know, these are people who train for this, and they still get knocked out. These are people who are world champions, and they still lose. So there is no guarantee when you go to war. None whatsoever. So you can very well lose your life going into it fully confident and fully capable and thinking that this is what's going to happen, and it can happen a totally different way. You know, a totally different way, man. And it's crazy. It's just not it's not a world for the normal people, man. These are abnormal. These are abnormal people in an abnormal world, you know. And it takes a lot adjusting to get used to it, man. And you never really fully get used to it. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? You just always in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? You always in survival mode, man. And you got characters in prison, man, that you may not never, ever in your life run into in the free world. You may never run into these type of people that you're going to run into in prison. You may never run into a person on the street, another man that may be trying to, you know, take advantage of you sexually. You may never run into that on the street. In prison, the statistics go way up. The statistics go way up because you got some crazy people in there. You got some people in there whose mind is so distorted now because of the things that they went through in the position that they in, man, that they may actually look at you as a female. They may actually look at you as, you know, the object of their desire. And they may pinpoint you. They may target you. I had, I had did that video and they wouldn't even let me put that video up. You know what I'm saying? About BMO. They wouldn't even let me put that video up. I ain't gonna say his name now. They might not let this video go through. But you got dudes like that. BMO, Bolo. You got dudes like that they just talk. I remember the dude Marvin on Power Tan, man. The little short, stocky, dark-skinned dude, man. Really, really big, you know, but he was short and had thick glasses, man, like Coke bottles. All he did was stalk young dudes. And it didn't matter if they was black or white. He just stalked them young dudes, man. He just stalked them. You know what I'm saying? He just stand there. He go watch them when they get in the shower. He just sit there and just look at them. And wait for them to say something like, what are you looking at me in the shower for, or whatever. And then he gonna approach them aggressively. You know, and if they even say anything that he don't like, he gonna physically just beat them down, you know, just to put that intimidation on. And if they didn't say nothing, he took that as a sign of weakness, and then he move in for the kill. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you will be faced with. These are the things that these young people out here don't even understand, especially these young dudes, these young kings. Y'all don't understand that you out here playing these games with your life, and you get in prison, you know, and you thinking that, okay, well, I got a little bit of time, I can do this. Man, you may not never come out. You may not never come out. And if you do come out, you may not never come out the same. Because y'all out here now with these guns and these shootings and these gangs, and y'all thinking y'all thugging and y'all thinking y'all hard. Man, that stuff there is watered down, man. In prison, it's real. It's yeah, you can't shoot nobody. There ain't no guns in there. It ain't none. You know what I'm saying? You can't intimidate nobody because you got a 40 cal, a 9mm, a chopper, you know, a Uzi, or whatever else they got out here with the guns. You can't intimidate nobody in there with that. You could be out here on the street weigh 135 pounds and had a whole neighborhood scared of you because you always busting your gun or you always toting a gun and you known to shoot the gun. So people going to be scared and they're going to be intimidated by you. You can do that out here on the street for 10 years, a decade, 2 decades, and go to prison and it means zero. Zero. You could have shot 20 people and you go to prison weighing 135 pounds, 140, 160 pounds, and you can't fight and you ain't willing to go to war until the death. Man, it means zero to nobody what you did out here on the street. It don't mean nothing. Not a thing, man. Not one single solitary thing. Period. And actually, you got some dudes in there whose mind is so distorted and they so lost with reality, and you come in there and you one of them little young guys like that that's been so violent out there on the street with the pistol and all that, and you get in prison, that turn them on. That turn them on. They gonna target you. yeah, it's sickening and it's crazy, but it's real. It's real life. It's real life in prison, man. It's real life, man. And it happens every day, man. So this is why I be preaching, man. Y'all out here on these streets and y'all got this freedom and y'all is not taking advantage of your opportunities, man. You're not trying to make something of yourself where it's a legal way that you can, come up without having to do the foolishness, without getting caught up where you're putting yourself at risk illegally, where you may end up in prison. Because if you end up in prison, man, I'm telling you, it's the last place that you want to be on this earth. On this earth, man, because them dudes in there, man, man, I've seen them all, man. I've seen all kinds in there. Everything that you could possibly think of, everything that you can imagine, everything that you might have seen in movies. Where you think the movies come from? Where you think them concepts come from? Where you think that type of thinking come from? It comes from inside there, because these dudes, man, we caged up so long, and we oppressed and depressed and suppressed and just out of touch. Some people just cannot handle it. You cannot function. It's an everyday struggle to try to keep your sanity. And some people go insane. Some people start looking at the world different. They start looking at people different. They start looking at men different. They start looking at women different. And their whole, concept is distorted. And you're going to have to deal with that when you in there. And you're going to have to deal with it. Why? Because you are in that environment, and it's just a small environment. It's not like your city. It's not like the world. It's a small, condensed environment where you're going to encounter these type of things. So, yeah, you don't want to try to duck prison at all costs, man. You don't want to try to duck prison at all costs. And that means doing what you got to do while you out here, man, and not doing what you shouldn't be doing while you out here. Because, man, them cats in there is a different breed, man. They are a different breed, man. And I'm telling you, man. And I seen dudes in there, man, they can smell weakness. They can smell it. You know what I'm saying? They can smell it on you, man. They can look at you and see the intimidation in your eyes. And it's rules to prison, man. There's so many rules. I don't even know why nobody ain't never write a rule book, but it's rules to prison. You know what I'm saying? You can catch a dude just looking at you, and if you don't say nothing or you don't respond with the proper type of aggression, then he gonna automatically label you as weak. He gonna label you as soft. He gonna label you as a victim. He gonna label you as, oh yeah, I got him. But then on the flip side, if you meet his aggression, his look, his stare with aggression, then you're going to have to be able to back it up. You're going to have to be able to back it up, because he's going to meet your aggression to his aggression with more aggression. Then what you going to do? You can't cower. You can't back away from it. Once you go, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Once you go, you got to go. And a lot of people ain't cut out for that. Most people ain't cut out for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not no knock on nobody. It's just a fact. So if you ain't cut out for it, then prison is not for you. It's not. So if prison ain't for you, then while you out here on the street, you got to be doing what you can do not to go to prison. Because I'm going to tell you, man, it's a vicious world. I try to tell y'all every single day I come up on these cameras and I tell you. And that's what I was having a conversation with the young dude about. And I was like, brother, the prison ain't where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you that right now. Man, they got me messed up out here. No, you won't. No, you won't. Not if you want to survive. If you thinking, what dudes get mad about out here on the street, and what they go to war about, what they hurt people about, what they shoot people about, what they, take a life for out here, it just don't add up. It's asinine, because when you go to prison, all of that is gonna happen to you probably on a weekly basis. So are you gonna do that while you in there? Is you gonna kill everybody who disrespect you? It's impossible. There's no end to it. There's no end to it. There's nothing that happens to a person out here on the street far as disrespect and you know, making them get outside of their character and do something out of anger or out of emotions, that's not gonna happen to you in prison. It's not gonna. It's not. Just like when I was at that basketball game. If y'all remember, I did that video about when I went to the park in that basketball game, and them dudes was arguing and talking about going to their trunk and getting guns and doing this and that over a basketball game, because of what was being said in the basketball game, because of how they was being fouled, because of how they was being talked to. So now you ready to shoot somebody to prove your point. Well, guess what? When you go to prison and play basketball, man, you're going to get knocked down. You might get your teeth knocked out. You might get your eye cut. You definitely going to be talked to any kind of way, all types of ways. So what you going to do when you in there? When you can't go to your trunk and get a gun? And then on top of that, what does it feel like to be in prison because of what you wouldn't accept? And now you're in prison and you have to accept. It don't add up, man. It just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. And I say all these things because at the same time, you know, my mind used to be that clogged up. I used to think like that, you know, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the consequences, you know, not thinking about my actions. But, man, I'm telling you, I wish I had the brain then that I have now, because I would have made a whole lot of better decisions than what I made back then, man, because prison most definitely was the worst experience of my life to this point right now at 56 years old. Worst experience of my life that I would not wish on anybody, man. So what I'm saying is, don't do things that will get you in prison, because it is a different world in there, unlike anything you've ever heard or seen. And even my videos is not fully, I don't even feel like I'm articulate enough to explain what goes on in there. I do my best, but I don't even feel like it's enough. Yeah, so basically, all the things out here in life that you love, man, your family, your kids, you know, your girl, your woman, your wife, driving cars, eating good food, wearing your own clothes, just getting up when you want to, or going to work, all of those things, if you really love them, man, you need to protect that, because I'm going to tell you right now, in prison, all of that is gone. It's out of here. It's no longer a part of your life to the point where you used to it, or to the point where it's even recognizable after a certain amount of time. It's just not a part of your life anymore. So these are just a few of the things that you give up, man, you know, and then you go into a whole different world, man, where whole different rules apply, and it's just nothing good in there, period. You know, not a thing. You know, only thing that I can imagine that you can do in prison, if you have the fortitude and the will, is to self-evaluating and make yourself a better person. But in the process of trying to make yourself a better person, you're going to have to be trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to be trying to survive, and you're going to have to be able to compartmentalize all the things that's going on around you. And I don't think nobody goes to prison for years without being changed, you know, one way or another. You know, because, you know, you're going to have to change. Even if you're a meek and mild person, you're going to have to change in order to survive in prison. You know, that's just reality, because it's not a meek and mild environment, you know. So, yeah, so when I had that conversation with the dude, man, it was just crazy, because I took the time to stop and just talk to him, because he recognized me, and he asked me, and he was saying some things that I felt like I could have said some things that would have helped him, and hopefully the things that I did say to him did enlighten him and put him on a different, you know, path, man, because I'm going to tell you, one mistake out here, man, and it's over. It's over. One mistake, one foul, false, unthought, out move will get you decades and decades of remorse and regret. And these are years and times that you can't get back, man. So I implore you all out there, man, to think, man. Think about what you do. Do not do what you think off the top. And value your life, man, because I'm going to tell you, prison will rob you of your youth. It will rob you of your sanity. It will rob you of your, of your heart if you let it. Because you will realize that life is hard, man. It's way harder than it is out here. I mean, in there than it is out here. And a lot of people don't know that because they have never experienced that. That's just like when we look at things, when we see these people in third world countries. Yeah, we see these people in third world countries and stuff, and we feel some type of sense of sadness and like, wow, because for that moment our problems disappear because we realize people have greater problems, and that's how it is in prison. Once you get in there, you realize that the things that you had going on out here is nothing compared to what's going on in there. You could have dealt with these things in a different way, a better way, because now you have to deal with much, much more on a regular basis, on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, monthly basis. So it don't add up. It truly don't add up, man. So, like I say, this is not a video that I know y'all used to, but it was just something that I just wanted to sit down here and talk to y'all about because, like I say, our youth is the future, man. And the mistakes that we've made in our lifetime, man, I feel it's our obligation to try to share with these young people so they won't make these mistakes. Because these are things that's foreign to them. These are things that they really don't know. You don't know what you haven't experienced. You don't know what you haven't heard. You don't know what you haven't seen. So we have to speak up for them. We got to be the ears, the eyes, and the voice for them to let them know, what type of decisions they make and how they will affect their life, man. Because people are throwing their life away out here each and every day. Each and every day, not knowing what's awaiting them. Not understanding what's on the other side. And I'm here to tell you, my brothers, my sisters, my kings, my queens, it's worse on the other side. Trust me. Much, much worse on the other side, man. So keep that in mind, man. Brand new videos will be coming out tomorrow. I'm sorry if I was ranting and raving, but it was something I just wanted to get off my chest. And if I can't talk to y'all, who can I talk to? Come on now, TBP, talk to me. I talk back, man. Y'all share this video with somebody that might need to hear it, somebody that might be going through some things and they need to understand, that their life is great. Their life has great value. Do not throw it away. Do not submit that to anyone or anything, because you can't get it back. You can't get it back, man. So I see y'all in about 24 hours with a new video on deck. Appreciate y'all tolerating me. Appreciate y'all listening to me. Appreciate the love, man. I give it right back to y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there. Be smart. Make good decisions, man. And by all means, man, all means, duck them hooks. Boom, 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 boom. They out there, man, trying to trap us.
The banking special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.